So beautiful.
Creep on in, on in, on in.
Hey everybody, we're supposed to thrive and survive. Back once again from a long delay. I'm finally in my travel trailer. I've got my stuff all hooked up. The hardest thing for me to get actually was the internet service going. That took about a week of fighting with Verizon, but finally got that scheduled and done. So what are we looking at here? Well, let me zoom out here if I can a little bit so that you can see that right there. We're looking at outside the picture of an aircraft, either facing east or west, obviously. It's either sunrise or sunset here. And what I want to show you here is this is one of the best proofs I have ever seen that the sun is close. All in one picture. Not only do we have a hot spot right here, the sun is obviously still above the wing here, or this wing is blocking the sun, which is perfect for what we need to see here. We've got some low-level cumulus clouds that we have here. I'm going to do a video explaining at some point what people think they see as the underside of clouds lit up, which they are. The underside of clouds are lit up. The easiest way to tell that is not from a sun below them is the clouds that are lit up on the bottom never cast a shadow on the clouds on top of them. A lot of times you'll get a situation where there's just one low-level area of clouds and they get lit up by the sun, which is rising. In particular, it seems to me like sunrise is a better example than sunset. I don't know why, but at least where I live, sunrise, you get that much more than sunset. I actually had a series of photographs that actually proved that that phenomenon was not what you think it is. But anyway, if you easily want to see that the sun is not actually going below the horizon, that it is actually up in the sky, and it's just a perspective problem. You will never see the lower clouds when you do have two different cloud layers, or even like this, cumulus clouds. You never see the bottom part of the cloud shading the upper part, which it should if it truly is the sun below the horizon. What you're seeing is a perspective problem, looking underneath and from a distance, clouds in the distance. Anyway, we'll tackle that in another video. So, not only do we have a hot spot, which we should not have from the sun 93 million miles away, but you have these comfort excuses, is what I'm starting to call them, that people have to remain in their cognitive dissonance. We've shown so many times the sun rays peeking through clouds, and people will want to make up all kind of excuses. It's the slits in the clouds making it look like it's coming through at an angle, but it really isn't. Well, here we have that sort of phenomenon with the rays coming through, but this is different. We're looking at light and shadow. Now we're going to first focus in over here at this area right here. So let me grab the magnifying thing here, and let's look at the right side of the picture. Now let's follow the shadow here. Let me change my, there we go. We have the sun obviously above us, and this right above this spot right here. And what do we have here? We have a slight left to right angle of the cloud's shadow. You see the shadow here is casting the shadow back. These shadows, by the way, are never cast, like I said, from when the sun gets lower. They never are cast upward. It's always a downward casting. You can even tell here, even though this is still a perspective problem, we are close enough here to tell that these shadows are actually pointed slightly downward. In any case, we can see if we drew a line, you generally have going in like this. Maybe I'll stick lines over top of this so that we can see this better. But anyway, over here on the right side of where the sun is, we have the angle this way, moving off towards us, but off towards the right. Here in the center, they're coming right at us, or slightly to the right still over here, right at us, right in this part here where we would expect it, where the center part of the sun is. Okay, but let's start moving over and see what happens. Now, with 93 million miles away, this shadow should be the same because we'd have nearly 90-degree perpendicular rays hitting the Earth, correct? So we come over here, and what happens? Already, we're getting the shadow starting to peel off, not only towards us, but to our left. We're over there. They were coming towards our right. Now look how much it is over here. This is a definite right to left shadow casting here. Now, at some point in cognitive dissonance that people have, I would think, anyway, you'd have to come to a point in your life where you'd have to say, maybe we have been lied to. Here we have no obstructions. We have the sun above the clouds. There's no magical slits that are taking place. We have sunlight and we have shadow. And as we know, when you have one source, which is the sun here, you can only have shadow coming in one direction, which is away from the source. So it really comes down to this. It really does. Light and shadow. At 93 million miles, 92 million, 91, whatever, it varies a little bit through the year. These white lines here, they represent exactly what we should see. Absolutely exactly what we should see. We should see all the shadows coming in the same direction, no matter how far and wide we can see. It is a must with that distance. If you don't believe me, do the math. People have done the math. I've done the math. There are calculators online where you can find out what the angle of the sunlight would be at that distance. It is so near 90 degrees that you can just say it's perpendicular. 89.996 or 9996. So this is what science says we should see with their model. Yet what do we actually see? This is what we see. And you can take these lines off, pause the video, there you go. You can see I'm not lying about what's going on. I'm not misinterpreting what is being seen. So what's the difference between the two? Well, there's both of them at the same time. Quite a difference. 90 degrees versus all kind of different degree angles. And as we're going to see in a little bit in this video, as we get towards the edges, they're even more extreme. People want to have some sort of empirical proof. Here it is right before your eyes. We don't even need to take into consideration perspective because all of this is close to the observer. At some point, you have to, if you're in denial about this, you have to ask a scientist, ask someone who is supposedly good with physics or engineering or whatever. Ask them, how is it possible that we are seeing shadow coming at different angles in such a short span of distance when we have one light source in the distance? They'll be scratching their head too, I'm sure. So let's continue with the video. Then when we come back here, let's continue to go over here. Look at this baby here. Look at this nice little cumulus cloud sticking here. And we have this casting of the shadow way off to the left, almost perpendicular to us now. So we went from, an oblique left to a slight oblique left coming towards us, and then on the right side, they're actually moving away from us on an oblique. We don't have any really good shots over here, unfortunately, I don't think. Yeah, we do. We've got one right here. It's not great because it's going off to the edge of the screen, but you can see it's obviously coming this way. This is about as solid as a proof as I've seen. Now, these are shadows. These are not slits that the sun is forced to come through certain angles. These are clouds minding their own business, just hanging out there, and the shadow cast is coming at all kind of different angles depending on the proximity of the sun. This is an impossibility with a 93 million mile away sun. For those of you who can't figure that out, we've done this before. 93 million miles away, the angle of the sun rays coming at the Earth, no matter where it is in the sky, would have to be 89.9996 plus degrees to the Earth. So we don't have that here. We have, obviously, the plane isn't seen millions of miles out here. We're seeing just a few miles here. We have shadows off to the right, on our right, shadows coming towards us when we are facing the sun, and to the left of the sun, the shadows are going out that direction. So only these kind of angles could be produced by by a very local sun. So I'll end that video here. I'm coming back with more now that I have everything set up, and got a lot to talk about, guys. Thanks. Take care, and we'll talk soon. Bye.